You know, I was gonna have some sort of, like, funny little intro about how, oh, it's the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, isn't that cheesy? Disney's, like, made a little funny video. At least I did. That was until, I recorded this entire episode and lost the footage. So you know what I just say? Screw it, let's just be 100% honest right here. I need a moment. So yeah, whoop-de-doo, the Twilight Zone, the OG for the anthology series. Screw Black Mirror, screw American Horror Story, screw even Tales from the Crypt. This baby outlasted them all. I mean, look at this, and feel the chills. Okay, I know it's not that scary as the other ones I just mentioned, but give them a break, they were in the 50s. They, had the constant fear of nuclear annihilation at their hands. I'm a huge fan of this series, and I was super excited, along with everyone else, about the new, supposedly interactive reboot coming out next year. But I was also a little miffed, because while everyone was expressing their enthusiasm for it, they're also completely ignoring the fact that this is not the first time this happened. Far from it, in fact, as there were 2 reboots. One in the 80s, and one, which we're talking about today, in the early 2000s. Oh boy, how much fun. Yeah, so, I just want you to picture what the Twilight Zone would be if it was made in the early 2000s. That is what we got here. It's actually not that bad. There are some pretty good episodes. Like, there's one where Death ends up quitting his job, and everyone doesn't die, and ends up being in excruciating pain. So a doctor has to, convince him to go back to doing his job, even though, that goes against his, rules as a doctor and stuff. But it actually, turns out that Death actually quit his job because the next person on his list was the doctor. So in order for things to go back to normal, the doctor has to die. Woo boy! Is that interesting. But unfortunately, that's not the one we're talking about today.
I have a sunflower on my ass if you're interested.
So this is the episode Evergreen. And oh boy, is it oozing with cheese. But it really is a thing you have to experience. So without further ado, here's Evergreen. So we begin with this family moving into a gated community where we meet this Lindsay Lohan wannabe.
I have a sunflower on my ass if you're interested.
So yeah, when does that horrible Twilight Zone twist happen, and can it be rushed? So they enter this gated community and Forrest Whitaker!
Meet the Winslows. A family searching for a way to control their troubled teen. How far they're willing to go will take them to a gated community whose address can only be found in the Twilight Zone.
Okay, you didn't hear this from me, but I think you need the fire kettle drum guy. He clearly missed his cue right there.
Only be found in the Twilight Zone.
Come on, man, up your game. So we get a little more insight into this teen delinquent's delightful personality.
Damn it, I'm tired of your antics.
Please, you know what the doctor said about getting upset.
You think she cares if she gives me another heart attack?
That is mean.
Really? You open with your butt flower and mean is all you got left in ya? Also, people are crying at trees. So that's cool. So as they start unpacking, the mom gives the daughter a totally not rubied in any way lemonade. Whoa, wait, you guys just drug your own daughter. Sentence that feels terrible coming out of my mouth, and you just let her walk right up the stairs. I mean, thank goodness she had the sense to move forwards towards the bed, or else the effort to move to an expensive new neighborhood would be all for naught. So then we get this. Just watch this.
You're traveling to another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind.
So, what's her name? Flower Bum wakes up and notices that something is askew.
Bastards, Mommy! How could you do this to me? This is my body!
And look how you've been treating it.
Ed?
Okay, as awful as I find this character to be, I 100% agree with her, because even if her choices are stupid, drugging your daughter and robbing her of her right to self-expression, great move, Mom and Dad.
You don't like my tattoos, huh? I'll get bigger ones. You don't like my hair? I'll shave it off.
They made me take my earrings off too.
Oh, I am so sorry, Julia. That is, like, totally unfair. I mean, here, your sister was just drugged and operated on, and she has to change clothes, so that means they took off her clothes. But let's not forget about the real tragedy here. Also, how old are you? Your face says 16, but your clothes and hair says 12. So we meet this doctor guy who explains that the parents traded everything they owned to move to this place. Totally great idea.
Your parents are providing you a haven from the outside world with its drugs, gangster rap, violent movies.
Oh, you mean everything I care about?
And the award for groundbreaking writing of a teen character goes to the Twilight Zone reboot. How do you do it? No, seriously, how do you do this? So Flower Bum runs off.
That wasn't fair, Daddy.
Really? I am so glad you're telling us this now instead of when we were deciding to whether or not to move, or when you were packing your things into the car, or the car trip to the Evergreen place, or when you figured out that we had drugged her, or even the 3 or so days after which she was drugged. But I'm glad you're telling us this now. It's really helpful. So Flower Bum explains to Julia that she's gonna jet, and then she just goes off and explores the Evergreen place. So she meets this creep guy who knows every single thing about her for some reason.
16 years old. Arrested twice for possession. Got suspended from Holy Cross for sleeping with the teacher's aide. Nice. I'm assuming it was a he.
How do you know about all this?
The Homeowners Association has files on all the families living here. And I happen to have a key to the file room.
Okay, that doesn't explain why you know that, Creep. Do I need to start another red flag count, Flower Bum? So Creepster here explains that while this place may be uptighter than a Christian private school, it is nothing compared to Arcadia, which is like a Catholic school, and anyone who breaks the rules gets sent to there. So of course, after saying this, he immediately suggests that they break the rules.
So, what do you do to have fun around here?
Well, there's always homework. Or I got a stash of MP3s, a bottle of Jack, and a little weed. All buried not far from here.
Oh, you don't say! How many MP3s? And are they in mint condition packaging, or are there multiple? Also, just a little weed? Come on, man. Buy it when prices are low and then stock it up. What are you, an amateur? So he explains that there's a community picnic going on and that if she meets him in the woods during that, they'll hang out and stuff. So the day of the picnic happens and Creepster is a no-show. Aw, that's a pretty horse. How old are you again? So Flower Bum catches wind of some suspicious doings, so she stays behind to investigate, and finds Creepster freaking out. He then gets caught by the security guards and dragged away. The doctor guy visits Flower Bum and explains that Creepster cut up a couple of dudes, so he's in major trouble, and that there's going to be a meeting to decide whether or not he goes to Arcadia, which Flower Bum interneted and found nothing on. So of course she goes to the meeting and sees that everyone has voted to send Creepster to Arcadia.
God's sake, he's my only child.
Well then, better get on to making a new one. So Flower Bum sees something on the side of the Arcadia transport, which she is chasing down, and freaks out, which alerts the guards that she's breaking curfew. So now she's gotta be on the run. So she tells her sister to throw off the cop's scent and meet her at the park. But unfortunately, Julia has some other plans. That's what you get for being a loving sister. So they put her in the back of the truck bound for Arcadia, which turns out to be a fertilizer company. So you know why Twilight Zone twists work? It's because we already know that whatever's going on is because of the Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone's entire premise is about the mystic entering the real world. So we already have a pretty good explanation for why people can read minds, or why they can see the deaths of others, or why they can live forever. It's because, well, it's the Twilight Zone did it. And the real meat of the twists happen when there's a realization of something, or the characters are put through something as a cause of this mysticism. This episode doesn't have a mystic element, and that's probably its problem. probably its problem. I sound like a goose. It's just a town in the middle of nowhere that happens to send children to be made into fertilizer. Or maybe they make the fertilizer. I don't know. They weren't entirely clear on that. From the beginning, we're explained that this is the real world. So it really makes no sense that why any of this is happening. Why hasn't the police gotten involved in a fertilizer company that is using children as its product? Why is Evergreen selling children to this Arcadia fertilizing plant? And why would parents ever go to this place and give up everything for their children to get something kind of like enlightenment, even though they are fully aware that if it doesn't work, they're gonna have to do a lot of gardening in the future? Whatever. So we end with the family planting a tree with Flower Bum and Ultra Formula and credits.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight.
So yeah. What? I mean, it's different, I'll give it that, but what? Look, the Twilight Zone is supposed to raise questions. It's also supposed to answer them. Like, they hint that the creepster didn't actually cut up those dudes and stuff, but it doesn't go anywhere. But I'd be lying if I didn't say that it was at least a little bit interesting. If you like the Twilight Zone and are looking for your next fix, or if you just love cheesy early 2000s goodness, I'd say not only check out this episode, but check out the others, most of which can be found right here on YouTube. But if you're looking to get into the Twilight Zone and don't like black and white TV, I would say just wait for the new one to come out in 2019. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some reading to do.
You